Well, hello, parents, and welcome to Module 4. Yes, Module 4 of School Readiness for Parents and Children, K through 12, Lifeline Academy. Yes, you're right here for Lifeline Academy. I am Wanda J. Prowell, your retired high school educator, bringing you authentic experience and relevant facts to usher your child, your student, into a successful school year. Well, I want you to know that today, my friend, Module 4, which is work now, play later. Yes, work now and play later. Confucius says a youth is to be regarded with respect. How we know that his future will not equal to our present. Oh, adults should never, my friend, be disrespectful or underestimate the ability of any child or any youth, for they need us now, but we will certainly need them later. Module 4 addresses four major student development areas for work now, play later. Four major student development areas. And these four student development areas are the leadership training, graduation, career and college preparation, and then we'll have a summary of conclusion. But just stay with me. I want you to know that leadership training is teaching students the importance of making personal sacrifices. Yes, leadership training. This includes parental early guidance, accountability, which is also known as parents, the primary career coach, as described in Module 3. But students' leadership, my friend, student leadership training always encourages the student to do what you want. No, not do what you want. We don't want to say that. We want to always encourage students by saying, do what you don't want to do now, so you can do what you want to do later. Oh, yes, all work, all work and no play makes Jack a dull boy, but all play and no work makes him irresponsible and socially dependent. Parents, let me ask you some important questions for this section. And one may be, what are some early fundamentals we can teach elementary age students? In our world today, often we teach that academics and social collaboration, which is networking, are paramount for becoming successful. But professionals and business leaders are now voicing their opinion. They want us to sharpen their skills for their interpersonal skills. We must mentor students to understand the value of character and the influences of their friends. To name just a few interpersonal skills, which is the unique you, what make you different from the other guys. Some personal interpersonal skills that are important for the successful careers of our youth would be honesty. Report cards don't reflect these. Honesty, loyalty, trustworthiness, dependability, responsible, body language. Oh, yes, body language is so critical. And of course, respect and self respect. I encourage parents to watch my free videos for the Wonder Proud YouTube videos that is entitled on how to recognize leadership skills in children K through 12. And that will give you great insight for how you can work with your younger boys and girls. But I want you to know that the brilliant minds of today are leaders of tomorrow. But these minds requires guidance and training to be able to lead in the future. By encouraging the proper skills and introducing great activities, we can take the appropriate steps in shaping and our child or leading them into confident and to be a productive citizen. Young people, if you are really caring about the quality of life for you and your future family, you chalk it all up. Whatever you need to do, chalk it up and make the sacrifices to prepare yourself. Hey, play now or pay later. No pain, no gain. We've heard this, and it's true. But it is difficult as a student to sacrifice while others are enjoying. We understand. But how you choose to spend your time could be your most valuable decision. Studying versus playing, homework versus going to the games, staying in rather than going out. Maybe you need to study for a test. School supplies versus new clothing and shoes, and getting your hair done and your nails done, the pedicure, the manicure versus your school fees. Why are teens so intrigued by fashions in high school, allowing other students to make them feel inferior or ashamed? Why is it necessary that students try to fit in into certain stylish groups? But most of the time, my friends, those who desire exterior acceptance, appearance, you know, you want, your friends to admire you for the clothes you wear, you want to wear the most latest fashions. Those type students, they have very little interior qualities to offer, like knowledge, respect, business skills. More than likely, my friend, teens will not be affiliated. All the teens that you have admired and spent a lot of time with and made the sacrifices and sacrifice your careers you're studying during high school, more than likely, you will not be affiliated with these teams, after high school. It's going to be a whole different world then. So why not? Why not create some personal mindsets now to strengthen your values and your goals? Better yet, clothe yourself with garments of motivation for your future. Hey, that's where it's going to count, okay? But we have some really gifted, talented students. I do understand that, and you just may be one of them. You just may be one of them. But we have some really gifted and talented young people. Remind your teens' parents of these employability skills that are in demand while they still have time to sharpen their skills. Employability skills such as, these are game changers, being able to problem solve, leadership, teamwork, yes, to work as a team, communication skills, creative thinking skills, organizational skills, and technical skills. Oh, yes, those are employability skills that will be very valuable to you in your near future. But look at this. Oh, yes, 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 yes. Now it's time. It's time for graduation. Graduation. Your student, your young adult has pursued in their careers, and now it is time for graduation. But let's address some high school seniors, the senior class. Yes, I hear you. But I want you to know that graduation fees are important. And we understand the long wait that you have endured for graduating. But many of you all and many students and parents, both, they have endured many challenges to get where they are right now for this special moment. And it is also a year of tremendous fees. All kinds of fees are going to be due. But I urge, are you listening? I urge all extended family members and friends to remember to be empathetic by reaching out to them and communicate your willingness to help them financially before the end of school. Yes, it is at the beginning of the senior years when the senior sponsor begin to notify them all these fees are due. Fees start as early as October, if not September. But yes, family members and extended friends, please be empathetic again and reach out to them. They may not come to you. Reach out to them with love and to be very loving and communicate your willingness to help them. Especially, we're in a recession now. Yes, we are, but especially to the struggling family with loss of income, even the single teen parents, the single moms, even the married parents, but anyone who is having financial difficulty, reach out to them. Can you do this? I know the Lord will bless you for reaching out. Okay? Well, every senior should have a completed portfolio. Portfolio? Yes, if you're a senior, your portfolio should be about completed because we discussed in module 3 that every student and parent should begin at least working on their portfolio at least by 10th grade. And some parents they're very diligent. They have begun even as early as ninth grade. But a portfolio, my friend, is an organized folder that contains all necessary documents to confirm your qualifications, such as letters of recommendations, some of your pictures, all awards, your resume, certificate. These are all the rewards and certificate that you have received throughout at least your junior high year through high school. But and even your national test scores, your college entrance scores, your transcript, if you have been awarded or recognized in your local newspaper, those type clippings and articles, and make no mistake now, even to the elementary school, I remember seeing students who received a certificate, seniors who receive a certificate for perfect attendance all the way from elementary school. So if you have a perfect attendance, even if it's from elementary school to high school, or perhaps from middle school to high school, do not count that, slightly, because perfect attendance is very important when you think in terms of, being employed on the job. Because if you report to class every day, that is very important for your prospective employer to know, because that let them know that you are dependable and you will come to work. So do not disregard those perfect attendance certificates. Okay. Well, students should begin formatting his or her portfolio at least by 10th grade. And this will allow time for collecting your data as well as processing it and to make any upgraded corrections if necessary. Well, I want you to know that a standard resume sample, and other necessary employment and career letter samples, they're all included as supplement to this lesson to Module 4. You're receiving samples of all of those employment letters as well as a resume. So you have those modules to create yours using the samples. But keep the resume simple, okay? Most employers, they don't want, they would prefer 2 pages, but sometimes, you may have 3, but certainly not above 3 pages. You want to keep it simple and professional. We don't want to have it, very artistically designed. This is a business format. And business leaders, they want to review it for the facts that they are looking for. So make sure that your resume is simple, um, it's professional, and you're using the standard Time New Romans font, size 12. And also to get permission to use any other references. You're required to have references on your resume, professional references as well as personal reference, but make sure you connect with them and to get their permission uh, to use them as reference. And keep in mind, family members do not qualify now, or your friends don't qualify, but you want those who can speak well for you, those who have professional titles. Oh, your counselor is always the number one. Your counselors, your teachers, your coaches, even your principals. Okay, and there may be some other professionals who attend your local church. Okay, so talk with them, and of course, there is a form of a letter, a sample letter of request of like a letter of recommendation. And that's always a good thing to use because once you complete that letter requesting a letter of recommendation, that would just give them all the information they need up front and to allow them time to to respond and get it back to you within a date. So go back again and review those samples within this lesson, okay? And also too, want to make sure that you use their complete names, when you use them as reference. And of course, the sample of the resume is going to give you all of that. But you certainly don't want to say Mrs. or Mrs. Jones or even Miss Deborah Jones, because there could be individuals by the time you use them as a reference. It could be someone else employed at the same school with the same name. So be very discreet as possible, and you want to follow that little guideline, who the person is and, their particular assignment, whether it was an English teacher, because it could be another person in the school who was hired at the same time, and they may be in a different department. With your correct email, with your correct telephone numbers, okay? Not the school numbers or, if possible, a personal number because they may have relocated, okay? And once you have established a great relationships, anyone that you contact will be more than happy to give you a great reference, even though there have been many years since they've seen you. That's the importance of establishing great positive relationships. Okay. And make sure never falsify any information on your documents. Make sure it's a 100% correct. Okay. It's not going to be one of those cases where I thought that is not acceptable at all. Make sure they are complete, authentic facts and information. Okay. But I want you to know something that meanwhile, there are three important reminders. Yes, I need to give you three important reminders, parents and seniors, before this session ends. And I want you to remember that when completing your resume, in the work experience section of your resume, there are three little pointers I think it's going to be helpful and important to you because many times as I work with students, I've been working with students for years, and many will tell you that they are the business technology class or the business class. All these teachers, are training students how to format and, correct professional resume is part of their class curriculum. And many teachers, they do a great job for teaching the information and or submitting it with a deadline to issue student a grade. But after they grade it, then they sometimes just may return it back to the student without having it redone for professional presentations. In other words, a live usable resume. So I made sure that was a priority for me. So all of my students, when they went on to the next class or they graduated the end of school, I made sure they had a complete portfolio. And wherever they are right now today, and they also saved it on a flash drive. And I'll encourage you to do the same thing, because as you continue in school, you're going to be meeting new people, or you're going to be assigned to new jobs, hopefully, and you can upgrade anytime you need to. And by having that document saved in the computer, you can always, just fast forward, just like that. Okay. But in the meanwhile, some students are, especially those who've not, worked a bit, those who've been relocated, so some of them have not had the traditional jobs, where they have reported to work with assignments. So they've done summer work or even part-time work, and when they began to complete their resumes, some of them felt that because they had not had that what they call official, public job where they were getting the official paycheck, they felt because their skills, that they counted as they just didn't count it at all. They dismissed it. So I encourage them to let them know is the skills that they have learned and the skill they have or practice that is going to help validate whoever they're sending their resume to. So we don't want to discredit or any opportunity that you have gained experience. So that's why I have added these three important reminders. Okay, are you ready? Okay, first important reminder, number one, and that is to never disregard your summer or part-time employment. Don't disregard that. If you work just for 2 or 3 months, do not disregard that, because that's going to be important. Select the employment, your summer employment, that gave you the most skill, the most marketable skills. You might have worked several small jobs, but select the one that's going to give you the most marketable skill, and always get the correct name and spelling of your supervisor, that you work with, and their name and email. Okay. Yes, you might work, 2 or 3 months, throughout the summer, even if it was a landscape, of course, working with your counselor, working with your parents, or working with any other professional in your area, even from your local church. They will help you in the word there, because a lot of students, they say things like, I just cut the grass, I just mow the yard, things like that. Well, someone who's helping you on a professional level, they will understand how to help you word it where you perhaps were, a landscape assistant. Okay? So choice word is going to really polish your resume. You understand what I'm saying? Okay. Or even if you if you, some of the common jobs, babysitting, or you're a child care assistant, and if you work for a particular family over a period of time, then they will become your supervisor. Okay. But and your supervisor is always the one who can validate your character for the job, whether or not you were diligent, whether or not you were dependable, your character, your body language. They can speak well of you and give you credit for your interpersonal skill. Okay. Okay. So again, speak with your counselor, and they will definitely help you select the appropriate title to describe your responsibilities and your exposure for your resume. Okay. All right. So you're not going to disregard your summer or part-time work. Okay. Now, and also too, you won't necessarily have to name the dates, like from July 1 to, well, say June 1 to July 15th. That was the case. You can just put summer months, summer of whatever year it was, and name the description, your supervisor, that contact information, and go from there. And this information is for the student who has had limited work experience exposure, because we have many students who have not, work again because of their schedule, their parents' preference that they, apply their time to studying throughout the school year, and they might have been involved in, the band and other extracurricular activities where they just didn't have a part-time job. So we want to give credit and to identify the skills that you have been exposed to. Okay. All right. So then the second important reminder is job shadowing and volunteer service may also be included. Yes, yes. And when I was working with students, and again, when I began to have the conversation with them and allow them to share with me their actual exposures and opportunities, and I asked them, just tell me, what did you do? When they started talking to me, and I began to polish, their responsibilities. I don't add to it now, but I just use choice words to help them describe in employability language that will give them credit. And they look at them and then they go, well, oh my, that makes me look important. That makes me look, it validates them. It helps their self-esteem to see all of their skills and talents and accomplishment on paper. So parents, whatever you do, make certain that you are connecting with your child's teacher, your child's counselor, or someone professional, even again in your local church. This is not negotiable. It is a non-negotiable. Make certain that your young person have that portfolio. And let me say this to you too. It not only is it valuable for, and it's necessary, and it's required for the graduating senior to be graduating, and they are presenting their portfolio for college interest or another type of career interest as military. But it also serves a great purpose. It is very important. It allows um, high school students, your underclassmen, if you let me use that word, the minute they become age eligible for public employment, and I believe it's 16 years old, and sometimes the employer will require them to get an authorization paper from their counselors to verify that they are in school, But this resume, at whatever level they are, you know, whatever type of experience they've had, you are able to create a resume for the ninth grade, the 10th grade. And I am telling you this from experience. Numerous of my students have became gainfully employed part-time students as a high school student for part-time work, maybe some of the restaurants, maybe it be some of the grocery stores. But once the business owner or the manager is able to read your child's character with the references on the resume, and this is just the resume they need, then your child, this student, many times will get hired over anyone who just walks in and fill out an application, because it is the resume plus the application that is submitted to the employer or the owner, the manager, or whoever that may be. So this is a game changer. This is a game changer. And I just hope that all of you will really take this and run with it, because it makes the difference in kids who are able to earn money, to earn income, and they just need somebody to speak for them, but they need that guidance, that guidance. Okay, so number three, another important reminder is that many times, and we do tell students, that in your applications, it will tell you, as far as your references concerned, that you are not able to use your relatives, and your friends. Of course, your friends, they're not old enough anyway, but you have to be an adult. But you're not able to use family members as references, as far as business wise. And of course, I can understand the bias judgment in that, because they want the honest truth. Sometimes not all parents, but most of them will they will always give their child an A, right? Oh, he's a good employee or she's a good employee, and the proper employability skills they're looking for. They're looking for someone who's efficient, someone who's honest, someone who has teamwork ability, someone who is, a go-getter. You don't have to coach them to do what they need to do. You want a great employees. But anyway, what I want to share with you is that many times we do have parents who are entrepreneurs, and we have very efficient professional parents who are entrepreneurs, and it is a great thing for a young person, a child, or a young adult to be able to work for their parents' company. Yes, and what I want to say is that you may use that as a reference if a non-relative was your supervisor. Yes. And I feel, really good about saying that because that would allow your skills to be acknowledged. And also too that it would show that it is a non-relative who is making those recommendations. If there's any confusion, always feel free to discuss that with your prospective employee, and you can make that confirm or to discuss that. The clarity of that, during your interview itself, but they would certainly want to be aware of all of your skills and your accountabilities. They want to know, the type of character they're really working with. Okay, so again, um, the three most important reminders I want to leave with you is number one is to never disregard summer or part-time employment. And number two would be job shadowing. Um, Social services may be included. And let me go back and add to that too, the job shadowing, because um, sometime, again, working with the parents and being their primary career coach, um, or during the high school years, the most preferred position is to gain skill and to be able to network. So what I am saying is that even though your young person may not be one who wants to take on a part-time job during school, but depending on that child's or your student career goal, they may want to be a dentist, they may want to be an accountant, they may want to be, public service, they may want to be, healthcare, they may want to be, whatever the case may be. Uh, uh, Healthcare. What I want to say is that parents can be very instrumental in connecting with other adults and professionals and the wisdom teacher to connect. First of all, after you connect, you want to have the conversation to let the prospective business owner or director know that your child is whatever grade your child is, and they are they have an interest in the, say if it's the medical field, they want to be or dentist or whatever they want to be. It may be that you will working with that teacher. Of course, I know that they're going to require a letter of recommendation from the teacher because they want to know that they're working with someone who's serious minded. But what I want to say is that um, volunteering and shadowing a job, of course, you are reporting. You have the same responsibility as you would if you were being paid. Okay. And they will give you minimal amount. It may be, it could be like during spring break, or it could be like a day a week. It could be, very short hours, but there'll be consistency where your student or your young adult will be exposed to certain office protocol. Yes. And or you would supervise to understand what the requirements would be. And every office is different. And when I was an entrepreneur, of course, I had students who would come in and job shadow, as well as it went on to be promoted to part-time help after school. But they learn so much. Oh, never, 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 never underestimate the the opportunity of learning and being exposed. Just how you handle yourself, okay? Customer service, your body language or voice tone, how you wear your clothes. Are you on time? Do you follow instructions? Do you immediately work to complete the instructions, the assignments? Or are you, like on your cell phone? Are you do you are you focused when you're working? Or do you stay on task? Are you going back and forth, back and forth? Are you eating in inappropriate places? There are countless opportunities for students to be guided into what is acceptable employability skills. So once they are ready to complete their resume for their senior year, and they're able to, include that job shadowing at such and such company, and you'll be able to name the supervisor, you'll be able to name what their responsibility were, things like that be the case, then well, when that term ends, you can request a letter of recommendation. And a letter of recommendation is also too one of the samples within this module that you'll be able to read, to review, and you get that letter of recommendation, get it from your supervisor and put it in your little portfolio file folder, and you will have that to use for the rest of your life. And do not underestimate. You will be able to use that over and over and over and over again. Okay? And whatever documents that you forward to employers or to colleges when you are registering for enrollment, always retain a copy. Always retain a copy of all documents that you send. Again, it's great when you send things in email as an attachments, because you will always have your copy, because a lot of times, even with technology as it is, copy or then, they are lost, okay? And you'll be able to pull it back up, okay? Retaining a copy and dates are all so important, okay? Well, I want you to know now that in conclusion, I want you to know that the definition of success changes. Success is to live your life with integrity and not give in to peer pressure to be someone else. Follow your dreams and stay true to yourself. Failure, my friend, is not an option. It's not an option. When things doesn't work out, hey, you get up again. Stopping and failure is not an option. In all thy ways, that's what the Bible says. That's what the Lord says. In all thy ways, acknowledge him, acknowledge God. Yeah, acknowledge him. And he will direct your path. And that's Proverbs 3 and 6. So again, failure is not an option. It's not an option. Continue to get up and continue to move forward. Okay? But I want you to know right now, I want to say congratulations. Yes. Congratulations. 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 Congratulations to all parents for purchasing this changing, this life changing book and course. This course of school readiness for parents and children K-12. It's life changing. If you would apply all the information that we have discussed for Module 1, Module 2, and Module 3, and this is Module 4, your conclusion. I pray that God will send helpful people, parents, into you and your students, children, young adults path that will guide you to success and to build positive relationship. May God bless each of you, and I pray that you have a wonderful, happy school year. Stay safe.